victims. So that's from Universal Media Group's or Music Group's lawyer representation. So they're claiming that because the lawsuit was amended, this is clear, irrefutable proof that some tomfoolery is going on and such. So I don't know if that. I mean, there's fucking photo evidence and apparently hours and hours and hours of footage evidence of all the stuff that Lil Rod is talking about here. I mean, throughout the document, I've got the pictures here. So it doesn't seem like it's just made up to me.
Plus, there's a history that you can pull from the other lawsuits and the other victims of Diddy.
So many people talk about it. And that brings us to the next thing, which is something that happened very recently. So on Monday, the 25th of March, 2024, authorities from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security conducted raids on Combs' two residences situated in Miami and Los Angeles as part of a federal investigation into sex trafficking. So they clearly had information
If the lawsuits corroborate an unrelated Homeland Security investigation of sex trafficking, that they think the federal government thinks it's worth it to raid two of his houses at the same time.
Yeah, shit's not looking good for PD. Like,
not looking good. Yeah.
We didn't even really touch on sex trafficking in the allegations. Like, I don't think that like this investigation by Homeland Security has even been spurred on by the allegations themselves.
No, it hasn't, because like, sure, it can be implied, like maybe sex trafficking was happening with some of the underage prostitutes and stuff like that, but like it's not like a few celebrities filing lawsuits made Homeland Security decide to do this. They've been doing their own investigation for a while.
Yeah,
that now everything's coming to light at once. So
if their determination is that they need to execute a search warrant for an investigation into sex trafficking on two residences owned by this guy, that is, they found something that led them to a search warrant being justified, which is pretty concerning, and also speaks to something much larger here.
Validates the lawsuits as well.
Also, he was not at either of these residents because allegedly he had received some kind of tip that this was going to happen. So this is when like the pleading allegations came out, where he had run away. So he had abandoned both of these properties. He was well aware this was on its way. So he took preemptive measures to get out and potentially hide damning things.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. He definitely wasn't at the residences when this occurred, so it's likely that he was tipped off. That's good. If there's something there, which I assume there is, they would have found it.
Well, I don't think there would be, since he clearly knew this was coming. I imagine he got everything out that was a problem.
Yeah, maybe. Man, I hope not. Additionally, it has been reported that Homeland Security confiscated hard drives during the operation. But it doesn't stop there. I wanted to end this one on another little anecdote, which is Diddy's relationship with minor artists, so artists who are minors at the time.
Due to the allegations of professional malpractice, a new wave of scrutiny was washed over all of the previous relationships Diddy had with minors. As such, a creepy video of Diddy interacting with 15-year-old Justin Bieber resurfaced, where Bieber was said to be spending the next 48 hours with Diddy. Quote, "He's having 48 hours with Diddy."
This is Diddy talking, by the way, just I should specify.
Oh, Diddy says he's having 48 hours
Yeah,
with
he
Diddy.
referred to himself in the third person.
Gosh. Were we hanging out and what we're doing, we really can't disclose. Oh no, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. Diddy, then 40-year-old, says in the video. He would continue by saying, quote, "He signed to Usher, and I had legal guardianship with Usher when he did his first album," after implying that he's been given custody of Bieber for 48 hours. Oh, in another video taken months after, Diddy confronts Bieber about not returning his calls.
Have you guys seen that video of like the awkward confrontation between Diddy and Bieber?
Where Bieber looks super uncomfortable. Yeah.
He's like, I don't know, man, or whatever. He's just kind of like dismissing it, but like Diddy genuinely seems upset that he can't get in contact with Bieber.
Oh gosh, this is so sick.
That's so fucking weird. He's having 48 hours with Diddy, where we're hanging out, what we're doing can't disclose, but it's a 15-year-old's dream.
I don't
That's
like it
so
here.
creepy.
Was a resurfaced Howard Stern interview with Usher from 2016, where Usher, who was closely tied to Diddy when he was a minor, admitted that he saw some, quote, very curious things that occurred at Diddy's New York mansion. Usher was sent to live with Diddy for an entire year, hence the legal guardianship referred earlier, when Usher was just 14 years old.
Why is Diddy? What is happening with his parents? Why are they just sending children to live with Diddy for like?
Well, you hear stories all the time about like, you know, parents would let it happen because they thought it would help the chances at fame or something like
Yeah, but this is they're acting like it's a medieval kingdom. Like they're sending their children as like wards of Diddy. It's so strange. Like here's your new squire, Diddy. It's Usher. Like it's so strange. How would this help? How would this help like launch a career? You can still work with him without like having to live with him.
All right.
I just don't understand how that even happens in the first place.
I don't understand the reason for it.
When Stern followed up by asking if Usher would send his own kids to Puffy Flavor Camp, which is what Diddy called his mentorship program, Usher quickly said, hell no. Puffy Flavor Camp?
What the fuck?
He would
What?
have kids come live with him and said it was Puffy Flavor Camp.
He's the king of branding. Like what? I don't know, man.
This is so out in the open. I feel like this is one of those cases where when the dust settles and he's in jail for, you know, life within the next couple of years, people will look back at this moment and be like, how the fuck did people not know? How did no one see? Like, this was all
That's the
right in
troubling
their
thing.
face.
People knew.
Like,
I mean, right there though. Like this is an example of a celebrity knowing something's wrong and not doing a single thing about it. Like Usher's like, fuck no, I wouldn't send my kid to Puffy Flavor Camp. I know what happens at Puffy Flavor Camp.
yeah.
Well, if you know it, you wouldn't send your
It's
kid
just
there. Do
dudes
something
being
about it. Be a
dudes.
good human
Exactly,
being.
yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Everyone just stays shut up constantly.
Because they're afraid. They're afraid of Diddy and his Puffy Flavor Camp. Usher would go on to say, and this is before about when he was living there. Usher would go on to say, I got a chance to see some things. I don't know if I could indulge and even understand what I was looking at. It was pretty wild. It was crazy. There were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it. We can't know with guaranteed certainty the validity of the multiple claims of the lawsuits, but there does appear, I mean, it's undeniable, there does appear to be a troubling and problematic history of abusive behavior and, frankly, just shocking activity by Diddy that seems to be overwhelmingly illegal and also overwhelmingly covered up by an industry that seems to have a habit of turning a blind eye if it means career security and progression. I don't think any of us disagree with that statement, right?
I definitely don't disagree. Like I said, I think he's guilty on pretty much everything he's accused
Same.
of. There's too much evidence, too many similar stories from so many different people. I think that he is guilty.
So I'm like,
So chat, there's been a new update here in Abiotic Factorland, and this update is tons of quality of life. I'm sure some of the guys in the call in a moment in the group are going to have more information about that. But there's fishing, there's some new fellas, there's new things, there's new items, tons of quality of life, and I get to change my server settings from here. Now that is the good shit. I don't have to edit an INI file. Hunger drain rate. We're gonna go slow. Thirst drain rate. Slow. Slow or very slow?
Get ready for the next
Guess you
battle.
could shit a ton. I put some recommendations in our chat. Okay.
Round one. Fight.
You know what, Dave? I'm gonna go with your recommendations. Enemy spawn rate. We'll lower that down to 0.8. Enemy damage to player. Enemy damage to deployables. Or actually, no. Was this? Oh, not 0.3. That was wrong. 0.8. Friendly enemy. Friendly fire down to 25%. I'm good with that. So we'll do slow. Item stack sizes 5.0. Item weight multiplier 0.5.